boys and girls. It's Miss Alicia, also known as your fairy tale queen. Today, I have a very special fairy tale to tell you.
Once upon a time, there was a miller who had a very lovely daughter. Sometimes the miller was known to boast and say things that weren't quite true. One day, while the miller was speaking with the king, he began to boast about his lovely daughter. He boasted of her many talents and went so far as to say that his daughter could spin straw into gold. Well, when the king heard straw into gold, he decided to see if it was true. He told the miller to bring his daughter to the castle. The next day, the miller delivered his daughter to the castle. The king was very taken by the young woman's beauty, and he told the miller that if she could spin straw into gold, he would marry her, and if what he said were untrue, the miller would be punished. The king placed the woman in a room with a pile of straw and said that he would return the next morning. Of course, the maiden was terribly sad and frightened, for she really couldn't spin straw into gold. She began to cry, worrying about what the king would do to her and her father when he found out the truth. A funny little man appeared and asked what all the fuss was about. With tears in her eyes, the maiden explained her plight. The little man laughed and said he could spin the straw into gold easily. The girl stopped crying. He asked her what she would give him for his help. The woman did not have much, but she did have a ring, and she'd offered it to the little man. And very quickly he spun all the straw into gold. The next morning, when the king came to the room, he was so surprised to see a basket full of gold thread. The king was thrilled and ordered twice as much straw to be placed in the room. He said he would return the following morning. Again, the girl began to cry. She was very upset because she didn't know what to do. Once again, the little man appeared. He asked her once again what was wrong, and the girl began to say that she had twice as much straw to spin into gold. The little man agreed to help her if she would give him something as payment. The only thing she had to offer was her necklace. The little man agreed and soon began to spin the straw. The next morning, the king appeared once again. He was very delighted to find not one, but 2 baskets filled with gold thread. He thanked the woman and told her if she would do one more bunch of straw, he would never ask her to do this again. The king ordered 3 times as much straw to be placed in the room. The girl waited and waited for the little man to appear, but he didn't come. She was very worried and began to cry. And finally, the little man appeared. Again, he asked her what the fuss was all about. She told him that she had to spin all of this straw into gold once again. The little man asked what she would give him for his work. And now she just started crying more and more. She had no other things to offer him. The little man scratched his chin and said he would do the work for her if she agreed to give him her first-born child. Reluctantly, she agreed. The next day, the king appeared. He was delighted to see 3 baskets filled with gold thread, and as he agreed, he would marry the woman and make her his bride. A year later, the couple was blessed with a beautiful child. They were very happy, and the new queen had forgotten the promise she had made to the little man. It was a surprise to her when the little man appeared and demanded the child as payment. The queen pleaded with the little man not to take her baby, for she loved her child very much. She offered him riches of every kind, but the little man refused. Laughing at the queen, the little man said he would give her a chance to keep the baby. "If you can tell me what my name is within 3 days, I'll let you keep your baby," he said. On the first day, the little man appeared and asked, "What is my name?" The queen replied, "Is your name David? Henry? Clyde?" With each name, the little man would chuckle and say no. Before the little man returned the next day, the queen asked all who were in her court to give her different names. She felt prepared when the little man came back. Once again, the queen began, "Is your name Horace? Malcolm? Trevor?" And with each name, the little man would laugh a little louder and shout, "No!" The queen was feeling quite desperate. The queen's lady-in-waiting went for a walk in the forest. She came upon a little man who was dancing and laughing around a fire. He was saying a little chant. "Tomorrow by the day's end, a queen's baby will soon be my friend. The queen's efforts are very lame, for she doesn't know Rumpelstiltskin is my name." The lady-in-waiting ran to the queen and told her all that she had saw. Then the next day, when the little man came to the queen was looking very sad. The little man was excited and said, "Let's hurry this along. What is my name?" Sighing, the queen asked, "Is your name Robert or Rufus?" "No, no!" screamed the little man. The queen said, "Could your name be Rumpelstiltskin?" When the little man heard that, he went into a fury and started stomping and screaming until he stomped himself right down into the floor and was never seen or heard from again. The king and the queen lived happily ever after. The end.
I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. I will see you next time. Goodbye from your fairy tale queen.